Welcome to Healing Highs with Lara, where we talk about the highlights and serendipitous moments of our healing journeys. I'm your host, Lara, an international energy healer for animals and humans. Thank you for being here. I love sharing these stories with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's just us today, me and you. It's been so long since I've done a solo episode. I really wanted to check in and chat with you all. I know since our last solo episode, we've had so many incredible guests. We had Faith, who is an intergenerational healer, and we did an extra episode about fairies. Ellie Lax from the Gentle Barn. So many of you reached out and said how much you were so touched by so much of her stories. Thank you for reaching out about that because I love your feedback about all the episodes. Michelle from Luminous Ignis talking about her near-death experiences and how she uses storm energy. That was really incredible. A lot of you really liked that. We had Bird Mejia talking about how she's a generational healer who finally is safe to be a healer and say she's a healer. She works a lot with cacao, heart ceremonies. We had Kate recently, who's an EFT practitioner. I love that episode. I love tapping. I think it's a really beautiful modality and so transformative. So I love talking to her and how she uses tapping to help herself. And in between that, we had Alexandra, who is a Kundalini activation practitioner. That was an incredible episode. She had so many beautiful stories. Her energy is so lovely. She invited us into her home. It was just a wonderful episode. So if you missed any of those, please go back, watch those episodes or listen to those episodes because there were so many incredible insights, so much value that they all were bringing. So I was so appreciative. Before the last solo one that I did, we had Marianne, and I did some other solo episodes. So definitely check them all out if you haven't already. But in between the last solo one and now, those are the guests that we've had. We had so many amazing guests. So yeah, I just thought this week it could be just us and we could chat about a couple things that have been on my heart. This week is the anniversary of 9/11. And, you know, it's for so many people can be such a traumatic time reliving that time. And I just really wanted to send honor to those that we lost. And if you were personally affected in the way that you lost someone or many people that day, just knowing that I'm still supporting you. So many people are still sending you love and thinking of you and honoring your lost loved ones during that time, during that anniversary, because we all know, we all can remember where we were when we experienced that. Even just saying that, I get like just such a heavy feeling in my stomach. I just really wanted to bring that into the space and send honor to those people. I was on the West Coast when it happened. I didn't know anyone personally, but of course all of us were, terrified. And it's been so long. So the people who lost loved ones, they're in such a different stage of their life, whether they were kids and now they're adults, or they were adults and now they're older. They've navigated so much without their loved one. And I just want to say that we see you and we're sending love. When that happens, I remember I have like a little story about, intuition and that day. I think it was a Tuesday that it happened, but either way, we all know the date that it happened. But the night before, I remember I called my boyfriend at the time, just to say goodnight and things like that, normal phone call. And the next day whatever day of the week that was, we always met after a class. I was in college. We always met after a class and had kind of like a late breakfast. Sometimes our friends met up with us. And where we would meet was in this kind of like food court at the campus of our college. And the way the food court was designed was, it was like this cylinder shaped building, kind of trying to be artsy. And when you walked in on the ground floor, it was like stores, bookstore. And then there was the second floor. And then above that was like, I don't know how many floors it went up, 3 or 4. But above that was like an open area where you could sit out and like be in the sun and be up high. But you also could go underground to like the food court. And so a lot of times we would just like we would go there. So we would just meet down there or meet in the stairwell or meet outside, wherever we just ended up. We knew we were going to be down there at the same time and we would have a breakfast. And so the night before that, I'm talking to him. Okay, see you in the morning, usual stuff, right? I hang up the phone and I just get this surge of anxiety, rush of panic. I'm just completely terrified. I can see concrete, just chunks of concrete all around me. I'm isolated. I'm feeling completely panicked. I mean, I was having the beginnings of a panic attack. I felt it was so real. And I felt so alone and scared in what I was seeing. And the only way I could think to resolve this was, if this is real, because at that time, if you would listen to the very first episode ever of the podcast, it was around this time that I was starting to navigate, what are these visions and feelings that I get? Is this psychic? What is this intuition? What is energy? Like, I was just starting to learn about what was happening for me and what had happened throughout my life. So in this time, seeing this and feeling this strong feeling, I didn't necessarily know what to do with it. And I didn't know if that meant it was real. And so I remember trying to figure out, like, is this going to happen tomorrow? Because I was so panicked. And I just called my boyfriend back, which it had to have been 10 seconds between phone calls. And he could hear how scared I was. He could hear how panicked I was. And I just said kind of briefly what I saw and felt. I didn't get too detailed about it, but I described it. And then I said, whatever we do tomorrow, can we meet outside the building? Because I felt like somehow if I did something different than normal, I could control like this weird possible outcome. And so I just thought, if we could meet outside and we could walk in together, then that's different than what I saw. And maybe that would change something. And I think also I had this feeling like, if we're together, then we'll be together if something bad happens. And like, that would be better than this horrible vision that I had of feeling alone and stuck in kind of the stairwell. And he agreed. I was begging him, just saying, please don't forget, please remember, meet me outside. We have to walk in together. And he agreed. And he said he could really feel how upset I was about this. And of course, between phone calls, so quickly to be that panicked. And he said, of course, yeah, I'll meet you outside. We'll go in together. And I remember thinking, like, should we even go in? What is this? Is this real? And I just really was doubting myself. Because again, at that time, I was still figuring things out. Like, even is this? What are these kind of visions and feelings? And, trying to think, like, should we even go inside? Should we not even do that tomorrow? What if that is real? And the only way I could remedy it was just to say, okay, we'll just go in together. Somehow that'll change things, or we'll be together. It was such a weird kind of solution. So, we go to bed, and the next day I wake up, and because we're on the West Coast, of course, it was early for us when everything happened. And he actually called me to tell me what happened. And it was so early, and I was so confused. It was unimaginable what happened. We couldn't even fathom that. So I couldn't connect with what he was saying. I couldn't understand it. I was really in disbelief. And then as he was describing what he was watching, what he was seeing, I realized, and he said at the same time, this is what you described. This is what you were talking about last night. It's like what you were talking about. And my heart just dropped because I couldn't believe what I was feeling, someone was feeling. I felt so sad. So, if you know that feeling, like when you can feel what someone's going through and it's such a tragic moment, none of us know what to do with that. And I didn't know what to do with that. And I really, to this day, don't even have kind of words to, process that. It's just, again, so unimaginable, that so many people went through that. And I can't watch any of those documentaries or any pictures or images of what happened, because if you feel so connected to our brothers and sisters that went through that, it's terrifying. And so I just remember really kind of, in a way, like shutting down and just, I remember I even went to school because I didn't know what to do. And our school was shut down. I literally got off the bus and then got back on the bus and went back home. And I was just so confused. I was so lost in connecting to this energy that we were all connecting to at the time. It was so sad. And that's why I think still to this day, I think about this and I think about those lost loved ones and the people who were left behind that knew them and loved them. And it means so much to me to remember them, because it's so heavy. So I don't know why I felt like this week I wanted to talk about that. Maybe someone needed to feel seen in what they're feeling. I don't know what you're feeling. I can't pretend to know, but I'm thinking of you and I'm sending love to you, and I'm honoring that person that you lost, and they are around you. They are connected to you. They are watching you. They are still with you, even though they're not in physical form. And that kind of got me thinking when, on this podcast, we talk about serendipity and these signs and things like that. When we really want a sign from someone, or we really want a sign from the universe, like that we're on the right path, that we're okay. When we go through those things, and then sometimes the universe or that loved one is quiet and we don't hear from them for a long time, right? And it feels so lonely and we feel kind of left behind, maybe forgotten. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that today, because it's kind of the opposite of what we talk about on the podcast. Like on the podcast, we're always talking about, what are the signs and what did you experience and things like that. And today I kind of wanted to go in the other direction to say, what if you had a time period in your life? Because I think we've all experienced that, where we thought, where are they? Why aren't they coming? Why aren't they bringing me signs? Why aren't they communicating? Whether it's the universe, source, this loved one. And what are some things that we can do during that time? And just like how I've experienced that too. And what I've done, to think like, I want to feel supported. I want to know they're here. Where are they in that quiet season of your life, right? So what that looks like for me is like, I'll realize I haven't had any specific dreams in a while that felt like communications or experiences. I'm not getting those like signs, and maybe your meditation feels kind of like challenging. You're not dropping in the same way. You're doubting yourself on this, in your path or your connection to that loved one. And there just feels like the clarity isn't there. And I don't know if you can hear this right now, but there are church bells ringing. So I just wanted to say that that's happening in case that means something for anybody. But something important I want to add to this is to say, this is not a punishment. This is not meaning you're failing on your path because you're not getting signs, you're on the wrong path. the universe doesn't punish you, right? So these are just some things that I want to bring into the space to say, you're okay. This is just a quiet season. And there's a few possible reasons for that I kind of look at when I go through this. And I kind of see it more as an invitation to go deeper, right? I could just be and exist and not try to make something happen, right? So what does that mean to go deeper? It can literally mean I'm going to heal more, right? Or I'm going to take the things I've done, the healing that I've done, and integrate it more in my life. Because integration, as we know in healing, that's the biggest part, right? You can go to the healing sessions and you can do the healing ceremonies, but it's the way you apply it to your life. It's the way you weave it into your life. That's the most important thing. And often the most challenging thing. So going deeper can be the integration part. Okay, I got to apply these lessons. Maybe that's why the universe isn't so active in connection with me. Maybe why this loved one isn't so active is because I need to do some things differently. And thinking in my mind, often I'll tell myself there's probably growth happening, like a seed. It's like below the surface. So I can't see anything yet. And being okay with that I'm still tuned in. It's just the message is either being rewritten or hasn't been written yet. And that's okay. And these are good times to just be, to observe how I'm feeling, to integrate more, to really move and explore without judgment, truly, right? Because that's where we're letting go of the doubt and thinking we're doing something wrong. Maybe I already received the information and I need to live it, Also, it's this idea that like the universe could be saying, we've helped you, we've been there, or your loved one. Like, I've given you signs, I'm with you. It's your turn now. It's your turn to be in your power, be confident that you're doing the right thing, and know I'm around you and love you. Go forward, Also could be just a time to rest, we're recalibrating. It doesn't mean we're out of alignment. We could just be upgrading. And it's sometimes we get over reliant on these external signs, and looking at the internal is something we need to do, right? And rest. And again, just be in that moment so that, we are relying on ourselves and not having to act on something all the time. We're often working really hard as healers and people in healing journeys to heal. So just rest and exist and be. And again, without judgment, just observing what's going on, because there's so many possibilities of what could be happening in that time, depending on how you're feeling intuitively and what's going on. So some things that I do to help that is I will rest, of course, basic things, breath work, walking in nature, being in nature, journaling. Again, all of these things without expectation. I'm just enjoying them for what they are. I'm not trying to get to something. I'm trying to release something. I'm trying to get to a sign from my loved one. If I have an altar for my ancestors in that time, I'm not like at the altar going, come on, give me a sign. I'm just, again, like doing my rituals and connecting with them, allowing the space to be there for when they want to come and connect with me. Really creating, right? Like if we are connected, if we're creating, we're connected to the creator. We're letting that flow and energy align with us. So painting, cooking, dancing, writing, again, to just be expressive, be in that energy, not to try to make something happen or get that sign from that loved one. Even if we're doing something that loved one likes, right? Like go do the thing that you used to do with them or something that reminds you of them. Again, just to be in the energy and enjoy it, not to force anything. I like to allow myself to move through all those different things very freely and comfortably, and what's calling me, honoring what internally is telling me I need in that moment, so that I'm, again, just existing. And also sometimes it's okay to like talk to them and say, where are you? I want a sign from you, whether it is your loved one or the universe or source. It's okay to say, like, can you give me a sign? Maybe you will get one, or maybe they will remind you that at this time it is a quiet time, and that's okay. It's okay. And you'll just feel that things are intuitively shifting. They just haven't gotten to that space yet, to feel that presence. And so sometimes just asking for patience, to be in that space, so that we're not living in this place of like needing validation. And, my favorite thing always is looking at beliefs. So often I'll look at beliefs and see, how am I feeling right now? Do I feel forgotten? Do I feel like I've lost my power? I've been left behind? Is there anything there that I need to be shifting and that this is helping guide me to? So always remember, though, the universe, your loved one, source is fully supporting you, and just relax into that. So I thought today, if you're going through this, I hope this could be a sign that you are in a quiet season, and it's okay. And the universe is giving you this sign to say, keep going. You're doing an amazing job. You are loved. And if you're waiting for a sign from a loved one, maybe this is it, knowing they are supporting you. And maybe there's some other things happening beneath the surface before they can get a little louder. I would love to, because we haven't done a meditation together in so long. I think even the last episode I did solo, we didn't even do one. I think that was like the only time I've ever not done one. But I thought we could do a little meditation today about just being comfortable within ourselves, internally. Before I do that, I just wanted to say, thank you again for enjoying this season as much as you all have on all the platforms. I just appreciate you so much supporting this space and all the ways that you guys reach out and let me know what it's doing for you. I love hearing from you all. And just keep connecting with me, because like I said, I love hearing how the podcast is aligning with you and sometimes providing its own serendipities for you. So let's do a little meditation. If you are in a space where you feel safe to close your eyes, please do so. And I'll take you through just a little moment to connect internally. All right, so we'll close our eyes, connect with your breath, getting comfortable in your body. I want you to start to connect with that loved one or the universe, source, whoever you're feeling called to connect with. And we just ask them to be in the space with us, in this safe and loving space. Feel the energy shift as they connect with you. And allow your energy to start to move back and forth with their energy. You are one energy. You are connected to them through all things, in all ways, in all times. Feel that at the core of this connection, it is love. And feel that love expanding, getting stronger, amplifying more and more. Observe how that feels, what that looks like. Maybe you feel a pitch of sound in your ears change. Holding on to that energy of love, as amplified and expanded as that feels, knowing that no matter what, if your loved one is in a quiet season, if the universe source is in a quiet season with you, that love is still there. You still have it within you. That love powers your confidence, powers your trust in yourself. That love allows you to feel brave, to know you're never forgotten, you're never alone. That love reminds you are always remembered, and you are always connected through that love to your loved ones, to the universe, to source. And you can access that love anytime and know you are okay. You are safe. Just be in that for a moment. And as you're enjoying that, just coming back into your heart, into your body. Breathing in this love into your physical body. Breathing in this trust and support into your physical body. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for being with me today on this episode. It's been really nice to connect with you again, just us. And probably it will be the last solo episode of the season. I might do one little mini one at the end. We have some guests coming up, some different things. And I don't know if you remember last year, we did a couple episodes where we took a bunch of kind of ghost stories, ancestor visitation stories, and we put them into some episodes in October. We're in the process of trying to do that now, to have one episode with a few guests telling some similar stories. And so that might be the last episode. We might do a mini episode after that to kind of say farewell for the season. So again, thank you so much for listening. I missed you. I missed it being just us for a moment. So it's nice to pop in here. I don't know if you can see this shadow behind me, but those are balloons. It was my birthday last week and someone got me some balloons. Actually, my dad got me some balloons. It was really sweet. And I'm actually in the space where the cats are again. So I think it was Kate's episode that one of the cats kind of showed up. Usually we have the little candles to represent them, but I'm actually with them the last two today in the last episode. So it's been really nice to have their energy really super present. And when I first started recording, one was behind me and her little ear popped up, but she was starting to walk into the camera and I was hoping she would so you could see her, but I didn't want to interrupt her exploration time. So thank you for being here. We are going to ask the void a question. So my super silly void question today is, hula hoops, right? When we do hula hoops, we do it like around our neck, our waist, our arm, our foot, our ankle. we do jump rope with it. So void, if you do a hula hoop, how do you do it? Where does it go?
My hip.
Okay, thank you so much. I love asking the void questions. It can be so like silly and joyful. That's the reason I always, no matter where we go on this podcast, I always want to end on a very silly, joyful moment that is very creative and out of the pocket, or out of pocket. Is that how you say it? With like a hint of cringe and awkwardness. Because always I'm like, this is so weird. Why do I do this? But also I love it because it's weird, and we need more random things like this in our life. And sometimes they're very serendipitous. Like there's so many times people go, I can't believe the void said that because I was in the middle of doing that, or I just said that, or my kid just said that. So it actually provides also the energy of randomness, which I have a lot of in my chart. I had a friend when I was younger, and we'd have so many random things happen to us, and people would always say to us, why is stuff always happening to you like that? And then later I did something called a garment reading, and I found out that I had a lot of randomness in my chart, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So this energy of randomness is really helpful for us, especially with serendipity. But thank you so much for being here. I loved being with you right now, and I just wish you so much joy and serendipity on your healing journey, and I know our paths will cross again.